Bonjour tout le monde. Today we're going to be discussing reflexive verbs. Reflexive verbs are verbs that express doing things for oneself. A reflexive verb in French is called un verbe réfléchi or un verbe pronominal. The infinitive is expressed with the pronoun se, which refers to for oneself, for himself, for herself, and that se changes according to the subject when conjugating. Some examples of reflexive verbs are se lever, to get up, se coucher, to go to bed, s'habiller, to get dressed, se brosser les dents, to brush one's teeth, se coiffer, to comb one's hair or to do one's hair, se laver, to wash or to wash oneself, se réveiller, to wake up. And you'll notice there's a difference between se lever, to get up, and se réveiller, to wake up. Normally, one wakes up before one gets up. And each of these verbs are referring to doing something for oneself. So let's look at the verb se lever, and we'll see how the pronoun se is going to change for each subject. Se lever, to get oneself up. And the se lever is the infinitive, and that's how it's going to appear in the dictionary. You have je me lève, I get up or I get myself up. Tu te lèves, you get up or you get yourself up. Il se lève, he gets himself up. Elle se lève, she gets herself up. On se lève, one gets oneself up. And in the plural, nous nous levons, vous vous levez, and il se lève, elle se lève. And you'll note here that the il se lève and elle se lève in the singular are pronounced exactly the same as the il se lève and elle se lève in the plural. Let's look at the verb s'habiller, to dress oneself or to get dressed. Now you'll note that the H in habiller, just like the H in is treated as a vowel. So the se becomes S apostrophe as if before a vowel. So s'habiller is how the verb will appear in the dictionary. And it becomes je m'habille, I get dressed or I dress myself. Tu t'habilles, you get dressed, you dress yourself. Il s'habille, elle s'habille, and on s'habille, he dresses himself, she dresses herself, one dresses oneself, or he, she, one gets dressed. Nous nous habillons, we dress ourselves, we get dressed. Vous vous habillez, you dress yourself, you get dressed. And il s'habille, elle s'habille, they dress themselves, they get dressed. Again, il s'habille and elle s'habille in the singular is pronounced exactly the same as il s'habille and elle s'habille in the plural. So let's take a second and think about using these verbs in context. Ma routine quotidienne, my daily routine. À 8 heures du matin, at 8 o'clock in the morning, je me réveille. À 8h05, je me lève. So at 8 o'clock I wake up. At 8:05 I get up. À 8h15, or à 8h15, which means a quarter after 8, je me lave la figure. I wash my face. À 8h20, je prépare mon café. À 8h30, or à 8h30, At 8:30, je m'habille. À 8h45, je vais au travail, or at 9h moins le quart, at 8:45, je vais au travail. À 5h, je rentre à la maison, or à 17h, je rentre à la maison. And you'll note here the 17h is the 24-hour clock that is used in most Francophone countries and what we call in the US military time. À 9h or à 21h, again the 24-hour clock, je regarde Rain à la télé. It's a good show, you should watch it. À 11h or à 23h, je me couche. So you'll just note here that the starred verbs are not reflexive verbs. So you want to think in terms of what verbs are reflexive and what verbs are not reflexive when you put together a composition that is going to explain your daily routine. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Bonne chance!